there, welcome to Sightline. Today I have Mr. Shyamal Majumdar. He is the head of the UNESCO UNIVOC International Center. Hello, Mr. Shyamal.
Thank you.
I would like to ask that how UNIVOC promote SDG 4?
SDG 4. UNESCO UNIVOC International Center is the largest TVET institution in the world, a network of TVET institutions. We have 245 UNIVOC centers in 167 countries. In all the UNIVOC centers, we request to promote this SDG agenda, and particularly SDG 4 and others. We believe that skill is the main accelerator or one of the solution for the SDG goal to be successfully implemented. As you know that there are 17 goals, and goal number 4 is dedicated for education. And if you see that SDG 4, there are 7 targets within SDG 4. Altogether we have 169 targets. Among the 7 targets, 3 targets specifically for technical vocational education and training. And this is the first time a UN agenda, a global agenda contains so much, given so much importance to technical vocational education. And they are specifically 4.3, 4.4, 4.7. If you see 4.4 and 4.3, 4.4, all this has talked about mainly 3 things. Access, to increase the access, to promote quality of education, lifelong learning, and another critical one is the relevant skill, means not only jobs but decent jobs, people should get it.
You mentioned that in this time UN made a focus on the TVET only for this time.
Yeah.
Why is it?
Because you know the importance has come, this is the time for TVET. So that's why I say if education is the key for development, TVET is the master key. Everybody realize the master key is TVET now. We have expanded the primary education, basic education, even secondary education. But what next? You expanded a lot. Do you think that this kind of bulk access has been increased? All will go to university and that will solve our problem? You need engineers, you need high people, scientists, but you need more than that, the key workforce who will really the backbone of an economy, say service sector, manufacturing sector, take it everywhere. This is the skilled people who is managing, operating, maintaining, servicing, all these operations are going on. So without skill, you cannot think about. World has realized that, and that's why TVET is the master key.
So then what's UNESCO's strategy for technical vocational education and training for 2016 and 2021?
Yeah, when this United Nations has taken this agenda, this Agenda 2030, I think in UNESCO we started thinking that we need to have a new strategy to fulfill that. So we came up with the conclusion that 3 major challenges that we are facing throughout the world. There are many challenges.
What are
let's
they?
say. The first challenge is youth unemployment. And how to address that youth unemployment issue is a global agenda now. So we say that how to facilitate employment and also promote entrepreneurship. Here we have taken a unique position. We are saying that okay, youth employment, one is you have to provide quality skill manpower to minimize the mismatch, and you have a demand driven program so that it can satisfy the needs of the market and absorb. But we need to understand that only by this method we cannot 100% fulfill the unemployment issue. We need to also create jobs. What do you mean by creating jobs? Means if the graduates are encouraged to take entrepreneurship and self-service as one of the ways to fulfill their career, I think they will not only compete for salaried job, but they will create jobs.
Yes.
And that, I think, is a neglected area in vet schools. I can give lot of example where the vet graduate can start a startup, small level, and make some kind of changes and absorb. And that's the new trend, I
Yeah,
can
that's
say.
really interesting
It is
point.
interesting point.
Now the startup is actually starting to blossom in 21st century, and
Yeah.
everyone wants to be a part of the startup.
Yes, and that startup is confined in the university only. Why not it comes to the vet
Yes, of course.
aspect of it, and why we cannot open up, like gig economy is expanding. So you have in a transportation sector, you have Ola, Uber, different kind of network based transportation service. You have a food service is expanding now, where through the network you can order food, you can look at that, maintained by app, and that app is maintained by vet graduates.
Yes.
And they have a startup, they are promoting, they are mismatching within the demand and supply. So you are right, this is one of the trend. Second, our thread is equity, gender equity, gender equity, and in general equity. So we have to keep in mind that vet also have to be accessible to the remotest of the remotest people, disadvantaged group, particularly indigenous, like in Mongolia you have mountain people, far places, they are working, so all need to get the facility.
Yeah.
The third one, two mega trends is changing the whole world. One mega trend is digitization. The way digitization, changing the way we work, we live, we do everything is unprecedented in the history. You know, earlier never thought a mobile can be a equipment which can be a
Source of information. Yes.
and and also means for their business, for the for different category of occupation. I think it's a different world. And now artificial intelligence is coming in a big way. Cyber physical system, industry 4.0, you might hear all this thing, but this has implication into the day-to-day life. So this has changing, digital literacy become a key component, and
Then
21st century
how
skill.
can vet can be a part of this?
Part of this. That's we will have to prepare this vet school to take that challenges. So vet school are not all the vet school are not ready yet. So we need to see how we can really train the teachers to aware about this, how the equipment being placed, how we can give the industry attachment program, work-based learning to them. These are the tasks we need to take so that enormous opportunity that is being provided to the graduates need to be explored.
Okay, so let's talk about the Mongolia cases. What type of benefits have Mongolia to be a part of this international vet reform?
I think the advantage will be like, you know, the one thing we need to know, every country has their own unique problem and they are fighting it out.
So what's the Mongolia's problem, you say?
I think in the Mongolia, you know that youth unemployment is an issue. We have to address that. Whoever may be in charge, they have to take care of that, how to combat that, the issue in an effective way, which is a global issue, is not a separate issue. So I told that for that we need to prepare. So quality of vet has to be improved. It's not the only access, the quality matters to reduce the mismatch between demand and supply. The courses need to be offered in the demand base so that when the graduates are passed out, they can be absorbed and industry is happy to recruit them. So this is one. Second one is that not only you have to look for a present market, you also have to create the market, like pushing them to the entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship cannot happen suddenly. You ask the graduates to be entrepreneur and next day they become entrepreneur. It's not possible. You need technical skill. You also need business skill.
Yes.
For that, you need to train them in a way, and you have to give them the opportunity, like giving them some incubators concept, to give a business model concept, come up with the proposal, and then they can produce something. And some school go for production school basis. There are many methods on that. So I'm saying this is one of the key issues that we need to address on that. So in my opinion, that's why addressing this youth unemployment issue, addressing the inequality issue, addressing the transition to green economy and the climate, the digital economy, is we need to prepare the vet school in a very big way.
And so we are organizing the TVET forum here in Mongolia.
Yeah, so we are organizing, and I really thank the ministry to organize this program, because one thing it will happen. You know that we believe on two things. One is South-South cooperation, another is North-South cooperation. What is South-South cooperation? Mongolia is surrounded by Asia Pacific, many other countries. They are also facing the same kind of challenges. Some of them has advanced, some are still struggling. So if you can share your story with them and learn from them, learning from each others, I think that's the key purpose of this forum. So it's the way we have to, when we listen to, like here we have a Univoc center from Korea and China, Japan, other countries also came. So we can learn from them, and from them we have say what lesson we can take from that and change our policy or think and contextualize. Similarly, they came here with the eye, in spite of you have a difficulties, you have also done some good things.
Yes.
So they will listen to you to take your lesson to that. So I believe that South-South cooperation is one of the key factor. Not only South-South, you have a North-South. You have a donor here or development partners.
Yeah, that's really important platform to make the network.
So this is a North-South dialogue can be opening on that. So to me, learning from each other, sharing the best, good, promising practices. We use the word promising practices, not good practices as media people always say, because the problem of good, something good for you, maybe not good for me. Because good is a contextual subject, you know. So we say promising. Something promising like can be trans or contextualized in a different condition. But the risk of telling some kind of best practices is that people try to copy that. Nothing copy will work. We believe in policy learning, not on policy borrowing. You cannot borrow policy from any other country. You can learn from that policy. Localize it.
Yes. Young unemployment is really important issue.
Yeah.
I will talk in my country's case.
Yeah.
Because here in Mongolia, people are going to TVET because they are not passing their exams. Because everyone wants to get the highest education, like bachelor's degree and master's degree. So I think the most important thing to make the information allowed for everyone that the studying in TVET is really important to be a part of the development of the country.
Yeah, I'm totally agree with you. It's not a Mongolian problem again. It is a worldwide problem. You know, VET is seen as a second class, you know, education. And it is a long history, because I will say there are different aspects of it. One is cultural history. There are also background of the context on that. You know, if you look at the cultural history, you will see that many country has a caste system, class system, like, okay, mental labor is for university. Manual labor, which is a dirty, which is not very shining, is for the TVET. This kind of perception in the society for long stay. There may be some reason behind it in the history, because you know at that time VET was only manual labor. But now entire perspective has changed. The VET is no more just pure manual labor. It is also need mental labor, that means cognitive and knowledge level.
So we have this strategy, and also we have sustainable development goals, and also we have platform to make the network. So what is the first step we have to do now in Mongolian case?
I think we suggested one thing is like, you know, we need to do a policy review thoroughly. What works, what doesn't work. What is the lesson from the region? What is the lesson from the world? So we need to apply this economic lens, social lens and transformative lens in your own context and see how you need to really reform your TVET agenda.
What are opportunities and what are
gaps and where we have to prioritize, which are the areas. So that one we have suggested. Second, I think once you have a policy, the major part will be implementation. And there we are, so UNIVOC is very important. You know, we have observed one thing. Sometimes a country has a policy in a paper form because development partners came, they invested, they write a very good story of the country, put up a policy and kept. But that remains in the shelf of the, you know, in the highest authority, never implemented. Why it is not implemented? You will see the leadership gap. The managers, the directors, the teachers in a vet school, they are not capacitated to implement, and they don't feel included in the entire process of the development. So it must be, any policy you must take must be inclusive, and also we need to capacitate them.
Okay, thank you very much. And our interview is going to the end. Thank you very much for sharing your experience and coming here to Mongolia.
Thank you very much for inviting me to say a few words, and I'm very happy to be here. This is my third visit. First two visit I did it as a Director General of Colombo Plant Staff College when I was in Manila. Now I came as a UNESCO, as a head of the UNESCO UNIVOC International Center, and a lot of my friends are also here. I always see you are, the people of Mongolia is great. You are so resilient, you know.
Thank you.
People complain so many things in a comfort zone. I always tell them, come to Mongolia, minus 30-degree temperature, people still survive. There is no high technology, but they have come up with their own technology how to fight it. I think it's unique. You have some traditional practices, you have some cultural practices, you have beautiful landscape. I think you have a lot to offer to the world. I'm very hopeful.
Okay, thank you very much, and I hope to see you here a fourth time here in Mongolia.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
That's all for today. Thank you for staying with us. We hope that you enjoyed our interview. See you next time with more interesting guests and with more interesting subjects. See you next time.